So, welcome back to the Nerd Paradise Podcast. If you haven't already guessed what our next segment is, then,
where have you been living?
Yeah, really. So, for the sake of people who don't know, we're going to talk about The Simpsons and its long, long reign as king
of Sunday nights. Yes, the reason why we're speaking about this is just recently, The Simpsons has reached its 500th episode, making it the longest running animated show on television, the longest running comedy show, the longest running sitcom on television. It does not hold the title for longest running television show. That belongs to the British show Doctor Who. But since I'm the only one that knows anything about that show, we probably won't talk about it here.
Well, unless
these two get off their fat asses and catch the show finally.
Or we do get a listener who wants to join in.
Yes.
So The Simpsons is something that is near and dear to all three of us.
Oh, I've grown up with
people out there.
I've grown up with it.
We are as old as The Simpsons. We have lived
minus a year,
minus a couple days, really.
Yeah, honestly, a couple of days, couple of months. We are within the same age range as The Simpsons.
Mm-hmm. I will say that when I was about between the ages of 6 to almost 10. My parents wouldn't let me watch The Simpsons because...
Same here.
Yes, but did that ever stop us? No. Every chance we got, if we saw it on TV when we weren't being looked after, we watched it.
First word I learned from The Simpsons, gay. Surprisingly.
Eat my shorts. I believe I said that to a teacher once.
I will also say that in terms of shows I wasn't allowed to watch, there was also Power Rangers and Rugrats. But that was because I had a tendency to wander off as a child.
Just a heads up, we may at one point cover both those shows, if we can manage it.
If we can. But
just because those are two things that we grew up with.
But continuing with The Simpsons, so from its first episode to now...
Yeah, Simpsons roasting on an open fire. For those of you that are not aware, or just may not be as knowledgeable, the first full-length episode of The Simpsons was actually their first Christmas special. The episode where they introduced Santa's Little Helper. For anyone older that may be listening has seen the shorts that The Simpsons aired on a late-night show, I honestly cannot remember which show it was, but none of those ever featured a dog. Santa's Little Helper was introduced to The Simpsons in their first full-length episode, which... It's a simple plot, but fairly easy to remember.
And this is where it starts. The whole Simpsons did it first.
Honestly, after 500 episodes, there's very little that you can say that Simpsons has not done.
Because it's not just a cartoon. It's an amazing example of political and social satire. Yes. And it does it without shoving things in your face or going over the top.
What's even amazing is that it airs on Fox, the channel that's been known to be right-wing. Mm-hmm. It's probably the furthest left-wing show that airs on that channel.
Oh, I'd like this with The Simpsons. It was a basic concept. It was an American family.
2.5 kids.
Yeah 2.5 kids.
Overweight father, supportive mother,
kind of naggy.
Thin. In the eyes of the father, attractive. There are people that will define Marge Simpson as attractive.
Yeah, so Marge Simpson was in Playboy. A lot of people think she's a babe.
Yeah. Honestly, I think it would have worked better if they did it with her hair down, because I could actually say in the portions where they show her as a teenager with her hair down, she actually doesn't look bad.
Mm-hmm.
You had a rambunctious son.
Yeah, you have the little hellion.
Yes, Bart Simpson, a household name.
And you get the
prodigy,
the token middle child,
the smart one.
Yes, but the prodigy. But unfortunately, people do find Lisa to be one of the least popular characters, just for the fact that she is kind of preachy.
Mm-hmm. And the baby that never ages,
never talks. But then again, the entire family never ages.
Yeah,
The Simpsons has its own timeline, referred to as the rolling timeline, where the family will always stay the same age, but their past events are pushed forward in time.
But in all sense, would you want to? Would you want it?
Would you really want them to change? I mean, they've done episodes where they make the characters grow up, as in
and it's always different. It's always different.
It's always different, but the characters are the same. But
you have Lisa dating. You have Lisa marrying a house, and in other episodes, you have Lisa trying to seeing someone else
or being the president.
Yes.
Yeah. Their what if episodes are entertaining, but honestly, what we come back week in week for is to watch this family go through the stuff it goes through
in popular culture, or like everyday life.
Yeah,
that's going on today. I mean,
it's a show that's going to become ageless because despite the pop culture references, they do them in a way that almost anyone can understand them.
And you have each character, and you have each character in some single way that you relate to.
Yeah. Or just certain actions that any character does that you relate to. You can say, "Oh, I've done that before." I mean, yes, there are some things that are over the top, but it's an animated show, and they know that that's what they are, so they will go over the top.
Even if it's over the top, the emotional quantity is this. You basically would have the same if you were in the situation.
Yeah. I mean, in terms of emotions, all the characters, you can see that they have a connection to each other. Homer Simpson, he's dumb, yes. He's a buffoon.
Yes.
He's got anger issues. Hell, people can even say he's an alcoholic. But he loves his family, he means well, and when push comes to shove, he will always put his family first.
Mm-hmm. And you got Marge, who's basically the backbone, the support.
Yeah.
You always
She's
have
the one that keeps the family together. She's the one that brings them all together, that is at the heart of everything. The true mother, wife figure. The kind of woman that a lot of men, honestly, these days don't deserve, but should strive to get.
Mm-hmm. And then you've got the rambunctious
Bart. He's a Bart. I mean, he's a troublemaker. He's not great at school.
And as a kid, I'm pretty sure every single kid has gone through him.
Yeah,
like
every single kid has been through a Bart Simpson stage at some point. Yeah. Maybe not as crazy. I mean, I'm sure you weren't burning stuff down or tagging the entire city, as a recent episode has shown. Mm-hmm. But honestly, at some point, you were a major troublemaker, got on your parents' nerves. We were all there at some point. Mm-hmm. But the fact of the matter is that even he's a troublemaker, not great in school, if he really sets his mind to something, he can get it done. As shown at various times where he's gotten a great mark at school or impressed a teacher. He has that potential. It's just the fact that at this stage in life, he doesn't want to use it.
Yeah, he does things for shits and giggles.
Yeah. And yes, his father at times wants to kill him, but deep
There's
down,
senses of child abuse there, but
that in itself, the one thing that is constant with The Simpsons is no matter what, Homer will always be strangling Bart.
Which in itself, I mean, in real life, you wouldn't support that. But
the thing is that if The Simpsons didn't start when it did, if it started simply 10 years ago in the 2000s, there will be soccer moms screaming up the yin yang about child abuse. Mm-hmm. But because of its history, people can ignore it because it's funny.
Yes,
they do it in an over-the-top comical way, and it in no way actually endorses child abuse.
Yeah, because overall, they show that it's not what you're supposed to do. Homer does it because he's a flawed character. Mm-hmm. But going back to Bart himself, he's got his issues. He's got his moments where he doesn't get along with his family. People want to kill him, stuff like that. There are times where the entire town wants to kill him, but in the end, he is a good kid. He wants to do what's right by his family.
Mm-hmm. And then you have Lisa.
Lisa, the middle child, who at first, honestly, was the ignored middle child. Yes. Like, she was there, she had her moments, but she was supposed to be the typical middle child. She's grown, obviously. She's become a prodigy, an overachiever. Some people find her annoying, obviously. She growls on, a vegetarian, Buddhist.
But at the same time, there are some people who will relate to her for the fact that she is different.
She's different.
She is not this. She is not like everyone else. She.
And the thing is that the creators do her in such a way where she's an activist, but you're never going to label her. Blah. You're never going to label her as something too far into it. Like you're never going to see her as a feminist. She believes in equal rights, not going over the top. Mm-hmm. Okay, you're never going to see her
she
as...
never takes it to the extremes, is what you're saying.
You're never going to see her supporting something like PETA because the creators are smart enough to know that it's not something that she would support. She supports being humane to animals, not animal rights, which there is a difference, which I may address at some point. I think I really should.
And then Maggie's not really anyone, but she's
Maggie's a character on its own right. Yes, she may not speak. Yes, she may be the baby, but she's been at the center of many plots, and
she's the kid that you wish
you wish you had.
Yes.
No. She's the kid that will shoot the mafia for you.
She's basically if you were a baby and you wish you were her doing all this stuff. Like,
yes. I mean, she shot Mr. Burns.
She had an epic escape from a daycare facility.
Yeah. She took down the mafia that were going to try and kill Homer Simpson. She was the sniper. She's saved Homer's life at least a dozen times.
Mm-hmm. She's also endangered a couple times.
Yes, she has. She also gets in trouble herself. She's a baby though. I mean, there are episodes where she copied Itchy and Scratchy stuff and almost killed Homer at one point.
The nail gun.
Oh God, the nail gun! Yeah, it's one of my favorite scenes.
Right in the ears. But yes, but looking back at it now, you look how it's grown. Yeah. From that simple show,
just simple shorts,
from
Bart's Bath.
From '89, that simple show, and then now you look at it now, it's just become this huge thing. It's just it's got not only its show, it has video games, movies. Movie. It's got cultural references. It's even got its own documentary by Morgan Spurlock. Come on!
The Simpsons is an ageless thing that if you've grown up in North America, if you're a child of the 90s, of the 2000s, if you have not yet seen an episode of The Simpsons, you must be living under a rock. Okay?
And
it's pretty hard to escape the cultural influence that they have.
There's a reason why the line "The Simpsons did it" exists. It's because they have. Okay, they have done everything you can imagine and then some.
And then you look at other shows. If it weren't for The Simpsons, those other shows may have not even existed.
Well, The Simpsons created the family sitcom formula for the animated shows.
Yes.
They didn't create it for live action shows because live action shows tend to mix it up a little.
Yes, but
yes, The Simpsons did base its family off of certain families from 60s, 70s, and 80s sitcoms. Yes. But they're the ones that. But The Simpsons is the ones that made it last. Mm-hmm.
Okay. Basically, The Simpsons was the Brady Bunch with an edge.
Yeah. Everyone now uses the formula of an overweight father figure, a supportive mother figure, and 2.5 kids. They mix it up on what the kids are, but that's the system that's used. But only The Simpsons has the balls to do it right. We will not go into Family Guy, American Dad, or any of the others because people have their opinions on those, and we're focusing on The Simpsons here.
Again,
and we're just saying that they did get their ideas from there.
Well, not just those shows. Even I even see some of it in even a show like 8 Simple Rules. The whole middle child is the prodigy, and then
hell, even as I'm loath to admit it, this year's show on Fox, Terra Nova, used the exact same system. Father, mother, the oldest son is a troublemaker, middle child's the prodigy, and the youngest girl that's there to be cute.
Well,
thank God that show's been canceled.
Now, you look at not just the main characters, you even had emotional attachment to
the side characters.
They have a whole sea of extra cast.
A whole city. Okay?
A whole city, but all of them are but all the voice actors are the same. That's what.
Not always. There are certain people that just do their character.
Yeah. I mean, Mo has so many others.
Yeah. The person that plays Mo, Hank Azaria.
You have you have Mo.
We could spend the entire rest of this podcast is listing out the Simpsons side characters. We'd essentially list an entire town's worth of people that we have grown to, well, essentially just love. I mean, we welcome them into our homes every Sunday with new episodes, new adventures, and it's a cast of hundreds.
Not to mention, it's one of those shows where, at least I personally find, no matter how many times they play a certain episode, I'll still sit through a rerun when there's nothing else on TV, and I'll most of the time enjoy it and get actual laughs out of it.
Yeah. Hell, as you grow older, you'll get more laughs out of certain episodes that you watched as a kid because you'll understand the jokes more.
Oh, yeah.
Or you'll understand the pop cultural references because you'll be able to go on the internet and research them. Like, why this character said this, look it up.
Mm-hmm. Why do people always hum Mr. Plow?
Mr. Plow.
They spend a fair number of episodes.
Have you heard the Sting version of Mr. Plow?
Yes.
Oh, wow. They spend a lot of episodes going through and taking these side characters, and they give them their own kind of episode to develop their character. Yeah. When other shows do this, sometimes it seems very contrived, or it's just boring.
They keep it at the point of keep it simple, stupid.
I mean,
it's pretty entertaining.
To give an example, Apu, for instance.
Oh, I love that character.
He started out as just the convenience store owner. Yeah, he was
very stereotypical, but
stereotypical Indian convenience store owner. But as time went on, they expanded upon his character, how he loves America, how he wants to be an American citizen. They expanded upon him getting his family, how his Indian heritage affects his life here in America as being a single man and a fairly wanted bachelor.
Also, here as in North America.
Yeah.
Where he's like, for the sake of this.
Yeah. They've shown how his family, they've made him into his own character. Chief Wiggum, the chief of police, has had episodes that dealt with him. Mm-hmm. Waylon Smithers, Mr. Burns, one of the most well-known characters, just for simply his catchphrase.
And for being a crotchety, over 100-year-old man who's rich and is pretty much evil.
Some of the funny characters, like...
he's a supervillain, but he doesn't have the modern knowledge to be truly evil. And there are episodes where he's just a nice guy.
Mm-hmm.
And then you got the characters that just give out the punchlines, like Barney or Dr. Nick.
Groundskeeper Willie.
Groundskeeper.
Even Nelson the bully, Nelson Muntz.
Nelson Muntz. I mean, you have a bully there that torments Bart and other kids in his school, but
Rainier Wolfcastle.
Yeah. Oh God, yes.
The greatest portrayal of one person.
If you put his picture and on anything and put a bunch of lines, you cannot help but read something like that in his voice. Or Troy McClure.
Troy McClure was really good too.
Yeah.
He doesn't show up lately.
He doesn't show up much, but when he does, you automatically recognize the voice. Okay, he just has to walk by and automatically you listen to his lines in his head.
And Jasper.
Yeah. Yeah. The old man with the white beard. Or Hans
Mole Man.
Hans Moleman, yes.
Yeah.
But with all of them, I mean, you have...
Even Grandpa Simpson.
Yeah, Grandpa Simpson has had some great episodes.
All these emotional attachments.
Ned Flanders, the world's best neighbor, but Homer Simpson loathes him.
Well, you always have that neighbor you always loathe because he's perfect.
Yeah.
Dinkelberg.
Yeah. Like they have the perfect neighbor, but Homer can't help but hate him for that reason.
And now
but then again, like it or not, Homer has to admit that when push comes to shove, Flanders is one of his greatest friends.
And now you have biggest mystery now is with The Simpsons has always been, where is Springfield? Where does it locate on the map?
They will never answer that question.
Especially
you have places in you have Springfields in different states claiming that's where it is.
They actually did have one episode of their behind the laughter, making fun of the behind the music, and they were talking about the Northern Kentucky family.
Yeah.
So that might not be completely official, but
it's not
specified there.
It's
at
not.
Least.
They said it's not official. The fact of the matter is that Springfield is ambiguous for the sake that they can do whatever settings they want around Springfield. I mean, there's one episode where just outside of Springfield, there's a place called the Springfield Oil Sands, which Lisa states clearly, but the Springfield Oil Sands are 3 times the size of Texas.
This is
Now put that together, how big Texas is. 3 times the size and still in the States.
Everything was big in Texas.
This show continuously makes fun of its own continuity because it has very little, actually.
And then you have places that are trying to claim some characters as their own. Like in Scotland right now, they're debating where Groundskeeper Willie is from. Either Edinburgh or this I forgot the other
Glasgow.
Glasgow.
Yeah, because in the episodes he's mentioned both cities. There's even times where he's supposedly near the city near Loch Ness. I forget which one that is. Yeah. There's other times. Winnipeg, for instance, so because Matt Groening's father, Homer Groening, was born in Winnipeg, people claim that Homer Simpson is from Winnipeg.
Here's one episode I thought was great. And they show this family driving in a car when Bart and his friends, they rent a car and they're driving up, and someone throws something at the dad in the car, and he goes, "That's it! Back to Winnipeg!"
That was in joke. They actually almost go to Edmonton in that episode.
Yeah.
Now, going back to the whole God, I got off. I forgot now.
About the various characters?
Not the various characters. Go on for while I think of it again.
Well, back to the various characters. I mean, everyone has a favorite character outside of the family.
Yeah.
Duffman, Lenny and Carl.
Duff. They had good times with Duffman.
Yeah. Lenny and Carl, who many people will say are the from the Shakespeare play from Hamlet, the 2 characters, Guildenstern and Rosencrantz, the 2 guards and they even reference it in the Simpsons episode where they do Hamlet. These 2 are interchangeable, but at the same time unique. They're Homer's Timon and Pumbaa, for instance.
Mm-hmm.
They're there for Homer. They're together. I mean, they have a bromance there. You can see that.
Oh, totally.
But they never the creators will never go out and blatantly say it.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, here we go. Going back, now I remember. Going back to the whole other shows thing. They even what's great about The Simpsons is they acknowledge the fact that other shows have taken some stuff from them. If you've seen one of the episodes where Homer goes to the book about plagiarism, and one of them was El Plagiarismo, and you just see Peter Griffin's face on it. Yeah. And then the other, and even more plagiarismo, and you have Stan Smith's face on it.
Yeah. And unfortunately, the thing is that McFarlane can't say squat about it because
they're friends.
Well, no, not just they're friends. Even if he hated them, he can't say squat about it because in the end, he got the idea from there.
Yeah,
okay,
he got a lot of plot ideas at first.
Yeah.
And then you have...
All right, now, there's something we forgot to address that is so important about The Simpsons.
And what would that be?
Proceed.
The celebrities.
Oh, yes.
Oh,
my God, have we not mentioned this yet?
This is one of those shows, the rare kind out there where it's actually an honor for a celebrity to get asked to be on The Simpsons, and almost everyone will jump at the opportunity to do it.
You ask any celebrity, they will hop through hoops to be on The Simpsons.
Hell, Elton John was trying so long until he got on it.
Yeah. I mean, The Simpsons is the kind of show that's had actual standing politicians on it. I mean, they had the Prime Minister of Britain, Tony Blair, actually have lines while he was sitting Prime Minister of Britain.
Yeah. A lot of the time,
just
completely making fun of themselves.
Yeah. Just the other week, the First Lady, what's her name? Miss Obama.
Michelle
Obama actually did a voice role in it.
Oh.
Yeah. To talk to Lisa.
Again, it's because The Simpsons loves pop culture, and they will always use pop culture in their episodes.
Like, almost if you name a celebrity, chances are they've been on a Simpsons episode.
You have Snoop Dogg, you have...
be it a major role,
Spears,
a cameo, and be it they played themselves or they played an original character. Chances are they've been on it. You've had tons of bands on The Simpsons. I mean, you've had the Red Hot Chili... You have had the Red Hot Chili Peppers. You have the Who. U2. Sting.
In the intro to the Simpsons movie, they had Green Day playing.
Yeah.
Black Eyed Peas they had.
Yeah.
Let's see who else. The Bare Naked Ladies.
Yeah, Bare Naked Ladies.
Smash Mouth.
Yeah, Smash
yeah,
Mouth.
They did. For that one episode, yeah.
Spinal Tap.
Yeah.
Rolling Stones.
Weird Al.
They've had
Mick Jagger on it.
Yeah.
They've had various Beatles on multiple times.
Yes. The living ones. I don't think
Ringo was the most memorable. You gotta say that though. Ringo was the most memorable.
Other things that they brought out were just pop culture characters. They've had Shatner. They've had essentially the entire cast of Star Trek. They've had Star Wars cast on there.
Yeah.
I mean, if you're ever playing the game 6 Degrees of Separation, chances are you can use The Simpsons more than anything to get people connected to each other. I mean, name a celebrity, they've been on it.
Mm-hmm.
Start naming.
50 Cent.
Been on it. Not as himself, though.
No, not as himself.
Kim Kardashian.
No.
I said celebrity.
No, I agree, but...
Okay, Kardashians do not count. Okay. Same thing with anybody from Jersey Shore.
Oh, yeah.
Michael Jordan.
If anything,
been on it twice.
If anything, they would just parody the people on Jersey Shore without actually using them.
They would not. They would not pay these people.
No.
They know better.
Another celebrity who's actually been on.
Okay, actual celebrity, please, Harvey.
They've had plenty of talk show hosts on there.
Yeah.
Besides Conan O'Brien, who used to be a writer for The Simpsons.
Yes.
And
he still does occasional episodes.
Yeah.
He's just not credited.
Most memorable. One of the most memorable. Kathy Griffin.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, Kathy Griffin.
Regis Philbin's been on like 3 times.
Mm-hmm.
Hell, even Maury Povich has been on an episode.
That was very bad.
Who else? What's the guy's name?
Jerry Springer?
Yeah, Springer's been on like a few times.
Oprah's been on, right?
Yes.
Oprah.
Oprah was twice.
Okay.
Dr. Phil has been on a few times.
Yeah, yes.
Let's see, other celebrities.
They've had Ramsey, haven't they? Chef Ramsey?
Yes, they've had Ramsey twice. Ramsey, they've had Simon Cowell.
Yeah, Simon Cowell
was the head of
the Smart Babies.
Yeah, the Smart Baby School.
Pretty much playing himself without being himself.
Yeah. You call that a punch?
They've had Charlie Sheen.
Yes. Who hasn't had Charlie Sheen though? In more than one way.
That's a different question in Hollywood.
Other big names. Morgan Freeman they've had. They've had
Samuel L. Jackson.
Yes.
Jim Carrey.
Oh yes, Jim Carrey. God damn it.
Clark Michael Duncan.
Yes. No. Bigger, the voice of Vader.
Oh yeah, James Earl Jones.
James Earl Jones. I mean, in one of the earlier episodes, 3 roles. In the Clouds, he was Vader, he was Mufasa, and he was the voice of CNN. And the roles he plays, popular culture reference.
Mark Wahlberg.
Yeah.
And Donnie Wahlberg.
Most of the Wayans family, actually.
Yeah.
All the Backstreet Boys.
Yeah, all of NSYNC.
We could go on and on, but...
They've had almost
and NSYNC parodied themselves big time because they went on the roll after they split up.
Yeah. Almost anyone... No, if I went to go on The Simpsons as a celebrity, they automatically take a good shot of themselves. They have a good sense of humor about themselves.
There are certain celebrities you probably, if you do see on The Simpsons, they're doing it just for the paycheck. There are some that will just do it for that reason.
Mm-hmm, for the notoriety.
Well, you know who's on it or not by the way how much they're involved into it.
Yeah. Like if it's a cameo, chances are they're just doing it for the cameo's sake. Because there are some celebrities that just can't poke fun of themselves.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Celebrities that are going to be on The Simpsons this or next season. We have... oh man, off the top of my head, coming up this next season, Rowan Atkinson's coming up.
Oh, awesome.
Yeah. And he's actually going to have a speaking role, people. He's not just, they're going to animate Mr. Bean into there.
I'm not certain how many people know Mr. Bean these days.
Enough.
At least younger than us.
Canadians would know more.
Yeah, because it was on the CBC for so long.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see. The big action stars these days. What's his name?
Bruce Willis.
Bruce Willis has been on.
Yeah, he has.
As himself and as another non-character from The Grey.
Liam Neeson.
Liam Neeson. He has not been on, but he's scheduled for later this season.
I'm surprised he hasn't already.
Yeah. No, he hasn't, because, the entire cast of Lord of the Rings has been on, of course.
Mm-hmm.
Ricky Gervais has been on.
Yeah,
Hasn't CeeLo Green been on yet? Because I think that'd be awesome.
I'm not certain.
He's too new. He's too new.
No, he's not.
No.
He's not new at all.
For 5 years now.
In terms of The Simpsons, and in terms of being a celebrity in Hollywood, he is still too new, and he doesn't have enough of a following.
After seeing his talk show, I think he
will be most likely for the last season, hopefully. I get the feeling that they're going to blow their budget on the last season and just go all out on celebrity cameos.
Because here, I'm going to say this now. If none of you have noticed, don't know the news, The Simpsons may
be honest last season next year.
For the fact that
Fox is being stupid.
Well, Fox is kind of being forced to be stupid.
Still, no. Fox has the money to keep The Simpsons going. Okay, they could get the money anywhere they wanted to. They're Fox.
Well,
they could sacrifice a baby and get money.
I'll go into the details of it.
They probably do.
Basically, Fox is going to
has already
budget cut The Simpsons, and the voice actors are going to have, if they want to go on, accept this 40. I believe it's 40%, right?
Yes, 40%.
40% pay cut.
Yeah, which is unprecedented on a show that is essentially the staple of a network Sunday night.
If that happens, I don't think any of them are going to accept.
Yeah. And no fan would even...
And this has to be a unanimous vote.
Yeah. No fan would blame them for this. Everyone would understand at this point that it is unfair. These people have worked hard for over 20 years to solidify these roles. Many people will argue that actors don't deserve to get paid these kind of salaries, but honestly, if you do a role so well for so long, you've earned your money.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. You've paid your dues.
Yeah.
You have. Now, knowing this fact, as much as I have loved The Simpsons throughout my life, it'd be okay if it went.
Yeah, like I said, the fans will understand at this point because they've been on for so long that honestly they'll be missed.
But it's happy.
But we'll be happy with it. We're happy with what they've done.
All good things must come to an end, and The Simpsons has run its course.
Yeah. Well, it could still go. I mean,
as long as there's still popular culture out there, it can still keep going.
They have the potential to go on for a lot longer, until a cast member dies, even. God forbid.
Yes.
But honestly, in the end, they understand that if they have to end, they'll go down gracefully and they'll go out with a bang.
Mm-hmm. Hopefully not the way that The Sopranos ended theirs.
Yeah, well, they won't do that. No. They might do an episode where they parody it. I think they did. I may have missed it. With 500 episodes, we cannot guarantee we've seen them all.
No.
You'd have to be the biggest Simpsons fan.
I mean, it's possible if you buy the DVD sets.
I think I've probably seen at least 400 of them by this point.
Again,
I think I'm up there too. I mean, I may have missed a couple here and there, but I've seen most of them.
Again, the fans would appreciate it. And even the ones that are super fans that keep millions and millions of Simpsons memorabilia all over their house where they can't even fit anymore. Yeah. But it will be sad to see it go, but we'd be happy for it to go.
Honestly, Simpsons, if it has to end, we know you'll do it right. We will miss you, but we will understand.
Mm-hmm. I would like to go on record and say that as much as I love The Simpsons, it was completely part of my watching schedule and all that growing up. There have been times when I found that it slowed down a lot in its momentum and it kind of lost a bit of its comedic direction. But in more recent times, it has really regained.
Yes, since the movie. The movie, before the movie, people can argue that some of the episodes weren't as strong, but afterwards they've gotten tens of times better.
Yes, you can actually watch.
Mind you, some of this can be attributed to the fact that we're just nostalging about the old Simpsons.
Yes.
So we weren't ready to accept some of the newer stuff they were doing, and now we are. But who knows?
Well, yes, and besides, after about 15 years, it isn't uncommon for a show to start
and
to
we
get
don't
some
blame,
stale elements.
Yeah, and we don't blame them. I mean, this element still worked. Okay, you could still watch one of these not too great episodes and still get a laugh in there.
Yes. What's great about the ones after that point, after their turning point with the movie, is you're not watching an episode and there's maybe one or two good laughs. It's almost consistent, and the whole show is actually funny, and I love that.
No. When it comes to The Simpsons, even their bad episodes are better than some of the best episodes of other similar shows out there.
Yeah, I'll agree with that.
Yeah.
And luckily, and I'm not a big fan of this, thankfully, there's no more Alan Gregory.
Yeah, well, that show was a mistake.
As to the first episode, I was just like, I hate this show.
Yeah. Well, there's other shows on Sunday night that really aren't going to do well. Bob's Burgers. Yeah, it's so dull. It's just dull. And the Napoleon Dynamite animated series has come out 5 years too late.
I think it's going to die.
Yeah. Well, it has, because it's just
unless it Sorry about that little silence.
Yeah.
Folks.
Anyways, but yeah, back to The Simpsons. We'll be wrapping this up because we're hitting the 40-minute mark soon. It's a great show, and honestly, if you feel like you've missed some episodes, find them online, get the DVD somehow. Yeah. Just watch them, because every episode has a point. Every episode is entertaining. You cannot go wrong with this show. There's a reason why it's lasted this long. It's got a following. It's got fans, and it appeals to almost everyone.
Our message here to you, Simpsons, do it.
Yeah, simple as that. Okay, if there's any show that we can unanimously recommend for anyone of any age, unless your parents don't let you watch it, is The Simpsons.
Which I don't think they have a problem with now. It's just it's become like the parents even are fans of it. So where's the...
Yeah, parents grew up with this show, so they're going to have their kids watch it because it's a classic.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Hell, they even have... even then, other Simpsons stuff will not die. I mean, you even have, like, Duff Beer in, like, Argentina.
Yeah. Well, there's Duff Beer energy drinks also.
Man.
But, yeah, I mean, again, as long as the fans still love it, it's gonna be around.
Yeah.
Even if the show's gone,
even
it's
if it's
gonna be
gone,
around.
it's going to be syndicated for reruns for the next couple of decades, at least. Okay, you've got tons of stuff.
Besides, Matt Groening's not gonna give up. He's got other shows.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I mean, he managed to bring back Futurama.
Hell, he could bring back The Critic, which I'm not even...
Yeah, well, The Critic was a bit more adult for its time.
What I'd love to see after The Simpsons finishes its season... Just a moment, please.
We shall be right back.
Technical difficulties.
Yeah.
By the way, this episode was brought to you by Young Street. Where all your fantasies come to life.
Or nightmares. But, yeah, so just finishing up while Harvey deals with some outside noises. The Simpsons is a show that has gone on for years, and if Fox wasn't cutting its budget, it could go on for years more without anyone complaining about it. Okay, the sad part is that once The Simpsons is over, I will be surprised if there's anything that could actually fill that time slot. Okay, 8 p.m. Sunday nights is The Simpsons. That's what people know. That's what people come to see.
Well, I guess in a way Family Guy could take that spot.
No, Family Guy does not live up to The Simpsons. It's not going to last as long as The Simpsons by far.
But then, again, what's going to take its place? Really,
there is nothing. There's nothing.
There's nothing. But like, what will take that time spot? You can't really have nothing.
I'm sure they'll try something, but I don't think there's going to be anything that will solidify that 8 p.m. time slot like The Simpsons had for over 2 decades.
Mm-hmm. What I'd like to see after The Simpsons officially goes off the air if they would still go online and release little animated shorts, sort of like they did in the start, but have it updated so we still get bits and pieces with the characters we know. Little situations, something that can't fit a full half hour, but it's still funny.
The Simpsons is so good that it could actually bring back the pre-movie cartoons even.
Yeah.
Air Simpsons shorts before a movie instead of those god-awful pre-movie trivia things.
Well, I don't know about anything in the States. It's here on Canadian.
They do it in the States too. I've been to theaters in the States and they're worse. But on the plus side, at least the States don't have that damn magician.
But yeah, so that closes off this episode of the Nerd Paradise podcast.
We've gone a bit over, but that's okay. It's The Simpsons.
Editing magic.
Yes.
No,
so
not even.
As we
everything
end,
was cool. We might add a bit of the silence, maybe, but it can work.
So other than that, any closing comments from you guys?
Yes. What have we come to realize with the last 90 minutes?
Wheel of morality. Turn, turn, turn. Tell us the lesson that we should learn.
Do not sue us, Warner Brothers.
And the moral of today's podcast is new games are looking good. It's a good time for the industry. People, learn how to conduct yourselves in public. The Simpsons rules. And not everything is epic.
Yeah, no, I mean, honestly, going back, The Simpsons can be described as an epic.
Yeah.
It works. It's been around long enough. It is an epic.
We are good at segues. Anyway.
Yes. Mark, what have you learned?
Well, that The Simpsons will go on, even if
Our hearts will go on.
I mean, Ken, I hope we don't get sued. But
Celine Dion's in Vegas.
I don't.
It's Celine Dion. Who cares?
I would not do good in jail, guys. Please. Anyways.
Don't worry, Mark. All you gotta do in jail is get friendly with the biggest guy there, and nobody else will touch you.
Nobody else.
Yeah. Oh, God damn.
Think of it this way. Would you rather be taken by many guys or just one guy? Chances are the biggest guy there is on roids, so he probably doesn't have much down there.
Or, another Chris Brown. That one's for you, Chris Brown. Anyways.
Thank you.
But yeah. No. No one by the guy. If the guy's named The Hammer, hell no.
Yeah.
But
anyways,
going off on a tangent in our closing segment. Wow.
Yeah. Anyways, and going back to finally what I learned today, simply being nerd culture, it will have its ups and downs, but at least we're seeing more ups and downs. Better than the stock market lately.
Oh, yeah.
I had to go there. In terms of people conducting themselves, watch your language. There are certain words that we do not have to overuse. It'll just ruin these words for us. And watch your behavior out in the public.
Fuckity fuck.
Yeah. Well, we can use that word as much as we want, so fuck you all. And finally, when it comes to The Simpsons, it's going to be around longer than we will be alive. Okay? People, when The Simpsons go off the air, when you grow older, when you have children, I beg of you, let them watch these shows, okay? They will not have anything to replace The Simpsons, and your children must experience these things, okay? I find that nostalgia for the past is a dying art, and I feel our generation may be the last one that truly appreciates things of the past. Please, for the love of God, bring that love of the past to your children, okay? Let them appreciate older music, be it the Beatles, The Who, Stones. Let them appreciate these things. Let them appreciate older shows, older movies. Because if you don't do it, their friends surely won't. Thank you, and good night.